This is happy day to everyone. God bless you. If you made it to this video, great. What a wonderful message to come in here to. Hey, Pamela. Thank you, Pam. Uh, hey, John, the twins are in the house. I mean, that's it. Uh, the Sisters with God is amazing. Twin Towers of Power. They're here. Great. Okay. Uh, everybody else is going to have to get here then. You know what I mean? Like if they're here, I got to start. Uh, so good. We're going to do some more revelations today. I'm glad you made it, ladies, and everyone else. Uh, Everyone, thanks for the support. I couldn't do this work without your support, so thank you for all that. I really appreciate. You know, this is a deep plunge into the truth, and the more support I get, the deeper I can plunge into it. So thanks for that. Frank's Upholstery Shop. All right. Hey, Frank, it's good to have you here. Uh, and Jamie, the Triple Towers bowing, right? Uh, it's good to have you, Jamie, and everyone else that's showing up here. Thanks for the support. I really appreciate it. And so I'm going to stick with doing continuing this Revelations decoding uh, until we get to the completion of it, and then we're going to go, back into some things, obviously that will relate to it, and so on. Okay. Uh, so Alan, all right, uh, got them all, checking all the boxes. All right, uh, Alan, a family man. I love it. What a great family. All right, everyone. We're gonna. I gotta ask some things. Stuff goes on. It's amazing. Uh, and I don't know. I don't for people that don't remember. We're talking about like plagues is mentioned in the Revelations, right? It's kind of a theme. You know what I mean? Like, oh hey, plagues. Like that's a theme you can read about. We've touched on it. It keeps happening, right? What did I do during a plague? Like, does anyone remember? A lot, super much stuff. So my god, I didn't go for it at all. Oh, Frank's upholstery shop. Frank, everybody. I'm just gonna say it for everybody else. It's like, are you Frank? You know what I mean? Are you Frank? We're gonna call you Frank. Because we would call you something. Are you Frank? I'm guessing you're Frank. Uh, let's just be frank about it, okay? Uh, yes, you're Frank. Okay, Frank is in the house. Fantastic. What are the wise men? Frankincense. And we call him Frank. He smells great. Right? No, it's good to have you. The aroma of Frank in the house. Fantastic. Recent come to the trust and big supporter. And wait, Gina. And wait, Gina. Oh my God. So great. Another great family in the house. Okay. So I'm gonna go into this. I'm gonna say, hey, the gang's all here, pretty much. All right. But remember what I did during COVID? Uh, I had a sign, right? And I would go out in public. There's almost nothing public happening, but the drum circle sometimes was. And I would go with a little cardboard sign, and one side it said free hugs. I'm like, what is this, an old script? Am I out of tune? What are you all doing? What's this thing? I totally made fun of them. And then I flipped it over and it said FR33 hugs. So I was like, both species, both species, fallen angels and humans, I'll hug you both. It's okay, both species. And they just, the first time I did it, they laughed so hard. They weren't prepared for my joke, because they can't read my mind because I'm on, with God, one with the Father. So they didn't see him coming. So they're like, oh my God, and like, we can't laugh, but we can't help ourselves. Uh, you know, I help them grow a heart, laugh at yourselves. Uh, Anyway, I'm just saying. That was my take on it, and I just kept it up. All the antics I did, remember? Oh God, I could go out of the comedy. I treat it as my comedy time. Like, oh, I'm gonna have another comedy routine. It's like this, yeah, you know. I want to thank the Holy Spirit for all the great comedy. Uh, so last night, before we get into Revelation, last night I'm out at the drum circle, and there's this really sweet homeless dude who's just refuses to stay indoors because he was in jail, so he's like, I'm never sleeping indoors, period. And he doesn't. He sleeps in a hammock. He's like in a tree near on the beach somewhere, and they keep putting him in jail and everything for doing it. He's like, I don't care what you say. And somebody offered him a room, and he tells me last night, he's like, he got offended that I didn't want a room for free. He's like, it's nothing. He's like, I'm not going in a room ever again. You know what I mean? Like, that's just, he's like, I'm not doing it. He's, I've been in a room. I'm never doing it again. I get that. What a great relation. What a great thing. He's like, they keep telling me I got to be under a roof. I was like, there's a dome right above your head. Just tell them that. Everything they'll leave you alone. Works for me. J. Pamadini. Uh, so, and after I touched on that because, some of my work is out there with people. I don't film it and stuff. I'm not like, hey, look at that wounded bird I saved. I'm like, those videos are creepy of people saving animals. Well, let me show the horror of this animal, then let me save it next. Just like, what the hell? You filmed that? Oh, okay. I don't get that. Uh, I know, but Anthony says he looks at me in the eye and he says, uh, we talk about the system and the troubles he's having. I'm like, hey, and so he used to live on Siesta Key. Now I was like, man, you'd like it better down on my beach down there. It's like last night he said, I've been living there 12 years. He's like, I'm so glad I moved out here. Thanks, man. I'm like, no problem. Uh, he loves it. We moved 8 miles or something, which is a long way, but it's way better and less city and apparently some hassle, but that comes with the territory. He's prepared for that. But after all that, we're talking back and forth. I'm just sort of setting a stage a little bit, okay? But he looks at me and says, they all know who you are. I was like, I know. He's like, no. They all of them, everyone, they all know who you are. I was like, I know. He's like, everywhere, everyone. I was like, I know. It's like, you're cool, man. Okay, I was like, okay. But I mean, he's having that experience because he's talking with me and stuff. He's like, he's taking some heat out there under the dome. Okay, all right. Just we're not going to get into much of that. Not too much current events. I'm going to go into Revelations. Okay, thanks for setting the stage here because this is current events. If I'm releasing this knowledge that's never been released before, it's like where Rabbit gives group the bomb is like, pull this switch, and then pull that switch, and then push this button, but don't push that button. Don't push that button. And he's like, like that. So, but once I give out the information, pull the switches and stuff, it happens. So, and you can see it playing out. Like, I'm like, once I said my stuff, you get to see it on the world stage. I'm sure all of you can very easily. Okay, here we go. Let's do it the way we usually do it. I'm going to go into 15 and I'll read. So we'll segue into it by read 14 and the last bit of that. Uh, the last part of that is 20. It goes up to 20 and 14. So I'm going to read 20 and I'm going to get us into the mindset of where we were. And then we're going to continue on 15, 16, 17. Okay. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for the support. All right, let's go into 20, 14, 20. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horse bridles, by the space of 1,600 furlongs. So, what is that saying? Winepress is the grapes are ready, and you're spinning them. We're done, right? Time for a new, after harvest. You do all the rest of the stuff and you get ready for harvesting it. And next season, right? The wine press. Yes. What they're saying a wine press is blood. And we're in a wine press. You see what I'm saying? Judgment day is coming. This is saying there's a time loop, there's a harvest season. You see, and it's with blood. It's with grapes, and so that's what the ceremony is about. Where you drink the wine into blood is this. Do you know we're in a 64-year time loop and it's blood and that's it? And people don't want to hear this. Oh, well, they all know. Don't you think this is important information that people know? They all know. They all know. They all know I know. Like I said, they all know I know. I'm the only one that knows. So it's like, oh, I got to tell everyone. And if I do, that, pulls the levers and stuff. So here we go. 15. And I saw another. Well, let me get my notes in the right spot. I apologize. Sorry, I don't want to leave anything. Last time I was like, I went a little faster, and I kind of left some stuff out, and I wanted to go smooth through it. Okay, it's hard to this prophet stuff is like you're trying to stay one with God and remember this world, and this stuff ain't easy, because it's not stuff I'm looking up. I mean, I am looking up, but I'm not looking it up in a book. I'm looking up. Hey, what's the answer? Oh, okay. Oh, I think I'm funny. Okay. Here we go. We're going to read it. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, seven angels having the seven last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of God. Okay. And that's what I was just saying. When I give out the information off, it's like, boop. Now the timer's tick, 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 kaboom. That's what that's saying, actually. So, you know, I, it's what I was saying before. Risa 7 played. This has an individual element, and there's also the 64-year time loop element. I'm first in the loop. Others can follow in the loop, but the 64-year time loop is the only time we have to get it done. Or then they wipe our memory, and then okay. So that's why we're all in a like trying to get this information decoded so we know what's up. Okay, right? So then you hit the seven plane, and then what happens? The seven angel with seven plagues, right? You got to fight your way through the composite plane, right? If you're still the body down here, you got to fight your way through this composite plane. You got to check them all and forgive them all. Go back through the entire carnival now that you have God consciousness and shake their hands and forgive them and say, "Hey, the carnival was great. Keep up the good work for the rest of the crew here." That's why I brought up the free hugs thing. So I was telling him, "Hey, great work. I made it." You, you see, that's why I brought up that example. Okay. All right. 2. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over the image, and over his mark, and over the number of his names, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of God. This is pretty freaking easy. You win the game, you go above the crystal dome, and you're standing on it, watching down. How are you? How that? I mean, come on, Rainbows prove that we're under a crystal dome ruled by Christ. Christ crystal, right? That's why. That's why every Christian. Oh, you're Christian? What does the word Christ mean? They're like, the anointed one. I'm like, oh yeah, anointed to do what? And they go blah 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 blah. I was like, no, that's not it. That's not it. Nope. No, the rainbow. Come on, Christ Christian. Crystal. Okay, that's it. It's not you're way off. Now, way way off. All right. Uh, and they sing the song of Moses, the servant of God, and the song of the Lamb, saying, "Great and marvelous are their works, Lord God Almighty. Just and true are thy ways, O King of saints." The angels who ain't played the game yet, and they fell and they ain't come under the dome in God's presence. The only thing you do is sing God's praise. That's why there is a game to find out who you are, what you're made of, and come down here, play the game under the glass. You can watch it from up there, but that won't grow you a heart. Go in the dome, go in the egg, embryo, and become a chicken. You know what I'm saying? And then fly into the nest. That's it. Uh, every time a bell rings, an angel gets her wings. Yeah. Ding. Four. Who shall wait? Oh, sorry. I almost skipped. Uh, angels follow orders and praise God, and saints make it there and go. See, it's just saints and angels up there. You see, say that those with hearts, those with the game that you make above the glass. But that's why I say you don't make it back to being an angel. You know what I'm saying? And staring down. Oh, hey, I'm gonna. No, you go to God. You see what I'm saying? You go back to God. You're not one of the. You're not like looping becoming an angel. You already went through your tests. You started an angel, right? And then boom, then you got to be a fallen angel. Under the dome, fall, and then oh, now you're human. You got you earned your wings back. No, that's right. That's right. That's from you're talking about that movie, right? With the banker movie and where the bankers are the good guys. You save the house. George. That movie. Uh okay. Four. Who shall not fear thee, O Lord, and glorify thy name? For thou only art holy. For all nations shall come and worship before thee, for thy judgments are made manifest. When I hit seven played, right, I could go in a courtroom, start 15 court cases and say, my God versus the devil, and they try and murder me and cage me. And I walk out on the street and nothing happens to me. That's what that's about. Let me say something. Do you think you could get to some play without doing what I done? That level of stuff, do you think is possible? I mean, why would it be? You see what I'm saying? Why would it be? Why would but you see, we're in a time loop. You see, it's the nature of God is absolute fairness. There's no line of time where it's like, oh, we're playing soccer this day and we're changing the rules, right? New timeline. Uh, so everybody plays a different game. That's not that you misunderstand the nature of God because you never met directly with God. God is to say God is not fair is to absolutely misunderstand the foundation of what God is. Period. Is actually fair. That's why they're like, we're the fairies. We're from the fair guy. It's like we may seem very unfair, but no, he made us play this game exactly the same every time. That's what makes it fair. So you're being evil is fair. Yes, because we're the same evil every time. Okay, that's revealing the nature of God. You see what I'm saying? That the game is hard here, but the nature of God behind it is fair. You see, although their individual nature isn't necessarily fair, is it? They're just doing their script. That isn't necessarily fair. The whole game together is fair. That is played the same every time. That's fair. Okay. It's a wonderful life. Thank you, Jay. Uh, J. Baba was not a follower of the Bible. The script was he was more about questioning mystique of God. Yeah, no, that's right. They were like revealing what's in the ether happening, and we could see it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, that's true, Didi. At five, and after that, I looked and beheld the temple of the tabernacle, the testimony in heaven was open. So, the tabernacle, right? The what's happening? We're talking about. Remember, this is Christ consciousness. We're getting to the penultimate. Hey, I've rejoined with God. Because there's a veil in between that. That's what we're earning the removal of it, and then we join with God. Oh, that's what I was never suffering from God. You had a good trick there. So because of God's presence, we could only do what God says. So now we're being tested. Okay, back around. Uh, five. And a temple, right? This is the temple. It comes in through the temple into heaven, which is the heart, right? HEA. heaven, HEA, heart, right? And that's, yeah. Uh, and okay, so remember, you think, oh my God, I want to join my consciousness with God and get the bliss and I'll know everything. Yes, but aren't two things happening? Isn't the description this a description not just of one thing happening, right? But God wrote this. You didn't write this. I didn't write this, right? God wrote this. So isn't God describing also not just what's going to happen to us, but what's going to happen to God? You see what I'm saying? Because at the same time that uh, you know, we're oh my God, the veil is lifted, and now we join. Isn't the veil lifted for God too? And God receives all the right, the vial of tears of the saints. Hey, you made it. You're a saint. Here's your information that you've encoded your experience, and you bring it back to God, right? Which immediately causes Judgment Day. He's like, they're still that bad. Yep. Okay. Kill them all again, or pretty much all of them. Yes. Okay. And the seven angels came out of the temple, having the seven plagues, clothed in pure white linen, and having their breasts girded with golden girdles. Uh, you make it to God, then the composite plane, right? And God, I can't be right. Anyway, that's this is the only method, right? Hey, like I was saying, and the test ain't over. I was like, no, I made it to God. They're like, yeah, but you can't really help anybody down here if you could stay in your body and actually know what's going on and actually be able to act and perform for God and stuff. You can't do it unless you get back in the body and join this up, and then you can help people. You can't do it. So get back in there and off you go. We're gonna test you again. It's like, what are you, like the Coast Guard or something? Okay, we'll make sure it's good. Uh, yeah, I mean, it's a violent action. Like you want to shake loose. Uh, you got to shake people into reality. You got to crack that egg. You know, it's not easy. I mean, God makes the most difficult game. It says everything is true here. Turns out it's not, and you have to go against it, and then give me God instead. It's so hard. These stories of Enoch and Jesus and Mirabama and so on before the 64-year time loop, God backs those stories. And those characters never took a breath, but, you know, the story is you pray to Jesus and Jesus comes. And that's true because God wrote the story and that's what makes it true. Uh, so that's it. No one gets through the Son, it gets to the Father except for the Son, but eventually, the sun is infinity times infinity, and eventually get me past all that and just to God. I don't want to heaven, I don't want to hell. That's duality. Still, that's part of the loop. And I just God, and like it says, you'll be watching over here now. It was like, okay. Uh, seven. And one of the four beasts gave unto the seven angels seven golden vials full of wrath of God, who liveth forever and ever. Right? So the did remember, I'm the one that made this the seventh play first. Who else has done it? I'm telling you what happens is I told you I experienced each plane as an angel entering me. Then at the end, it's like no angel enters you as well. I guess it's yeah, no, okay. Gabriel enters you, but at the end, you see what I'm saying? Gabriel can't go past the sixth plane. You go to God. You see what I'm saying? Like that's the nature of it. The angels go, and you go to God. You see what I'm saying? That becomes your essence of your vial, this body, but really your container. That's not even a body. The thing that Somehow God makes your consciousness not spit away somewhere, but it remains. Gabriel is the top angel of all the angels, God's messenger. That's the one, when you actually get to God consciousness, that's you're like, oh, I have a direct line now. Oh, it's a red line. Hey, is it Gorbachev or who's over there now? Oh, it's God. Oh, great. You're running everything. Okay, I don't have to go through any nations or no. Oh, hey, how you doing? Hey, great. How are you? you know, direct line. Gabriel, messenger. I have a message for you. You're like, 64-year time. Wait, what? yeah. Eight. And the temple was filled with smoke from the glory of God and from his power, and no man was able to enter into the temple till the seven plagues of the seven angels were fulfilled. Right? Man. Uh, oh, it's just when they come after me, right? Uh, you reach the seventh plane, it's like you drop dead. Get out of here. Go. They hate your guts. And, the world rejects you at that moment. In other words, you don't go here no more. What are you doing here? You're not for here no more. The people that come to the Obama Center, they're like, get out of here. You're never coming back. It's like, oh, yeah, thanks. Thank you. It's like, your hospitality was great up until, and then you're like, wait a second. Oh, thank you. You're forgiven. You are I'm glad you're staying. You're great at your job. And a chat and a wig. Okay, off you go. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, no, I mean, this is an interesting other piece of this, okay? When could I bring anyone? When did I bring anyone really properly who stayed with God? You see what I'm saying? Like I brought Casey before 2024. Yeah, in other words, I got Christ consciousness in 2024. Then I could bring people to God, like to India, to God. Before that, I couldn't. They just went straight back to the devil. It's like, you're not finished for 7 years now. It's like, they never beat me ever, anywhere, don't matter where I am. I know exactly who they are, what they're up to, everything. People do, hey, they don't want to hear it, but like treat me the way you should treat me, or I'm gonna mess with you. You know what I'm saying? Don't make your food all fancy, great looking, and it has no flavor, or else I'm gonna say something. You're not gonna like that. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Whatever it is, like, well, you think I'm not going through the carnival testing you? That I used to be, you were testing me. Now I'm auditing you everywhere because I know exactly who's who, what's where, everywhere at a carnival. Oh, I look at him like that guy said. Everybody knows you. It's like, yeah, and I know everybody too. You see, so that's what happens. You regain God's knowledge. Of course, God knows the hive and everything's going on here. Who thinks tell them what to do? Okay. But this is saying it doesn't take before that. Okay, 15. Into 16. One, and I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the seven angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of wrath by God on the earth. Uh I I mean, I get to time loop, I get to God and be with God, and it's like the download. This book is now talking about, and we're gonna go through it a lot, is now really going over and over when you get to the seventh plane, what automatically just pops into you. You see what I'm saying? God knows you and what you know God and what God knows. to plug in. That's it. And so you just know. And so like the it's all timed out. When I know initiates, pulling the levers and the giant explosion. You see what I'm saying? But it's timed when I know it and when I can release the information to see who's ready enough to leave. Oh, follow the truth. And this, oh my God, and it's your turn. And the rest of it, it's like, no, we're Disney players and we're staying. Everybody lines up on one side or the other. Okay. And I'm still here breathing somehow. So that's all proof on its own. You're not in jail. You're not dead. What is up with this? The rodeo clown over there. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Two. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there was a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. When I won the game, uh, it's a weird thing. You think about it. What's their purpose for life? Hey, you're cardi at the carnival, so you just want them to win the game. But aren't the cardies at the carnival trying to trick you the whole time so you don't win the game? Right? So you're like, wait, your purpose is for people to wait, is your purpose just to steal from us? That's what it's like, right? In life and at the carnival. It's both. That's their nature. And that's the nature of the character God gives them to play. And they're that character. You see what I'm saying? They're playing the role perfectly that they are. There's a reason they're playing that character. You see? They don't have a heart yet. They're just playing a character. So what are they? Because remember what got them under the dome? Jealousy. Yes? Jealousy. Oh, I know better. God, I could be up in the ranks now. What? It could be angel, whatever it was. They think, man, I'm better than a Bermuda. So I'm not gonna do that for them. Okay, you fall. Boom. Right? That's how they got here. Jealousy, jealousy, jealousy. At the base of that is jealousy. You see? And so what happens if you're jealous all the time? You're angry. You're what? Sore. You're sore. Are you pissed at me? They're all pissed at me. I'm sore at you. But when I win the game, your only reason you're playing the game is so someone can win the game. Why are you sore at me? I see a look on their face. They're like, that's what it was in the beginning. Now that I'm like, I pray for them, maybe you earn you feathers and wings, but they're sore at me. A lot, why? Because they didn't win. They didn't win. Like, but someone has to win and go on. So they were sore. I see the look on their face. I can also say Jesus Christ, right? Before it gets to the seventh plate, I can tell you that, and they can't read your mind. So they're sure about that too. I'm giving you all the information to get out from under their, slavery and mind control, literal mind control. It's not like, "Oh, hey, we put these images on in front of you, and, oh, we kinda told you what to do as a child and that mind control." That's not the only kind of mind control that's going on here. They control your fucking mind. Who sends the thoughts to you? That's not the only that's the easy surface layer of mind control. Come on. That's until you get them out of you and they lose jurisdiction, the only thing you hear from is God. Well, you're still playing the game, aren't you? That's what this is saying. They're sure about it initially. Okay. Three. And his second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as the blood of a dead man, and every living soul died in the sea. The 64-year time loop's coming, and and what happens is when you reach the seventh plate, you're like, are there any humans here? Any? Is it zero? Am I the only human? Because no one else has your consciousness. You see what I'm saying? And so it's like everyone's dead. You see, it's like when it's your mama right say when someone becomes a perfect master, is what his term for Christ conscious or whatever. Uh, people become like ants to you. It's true. They don't know what they're making the wrong decision in each direction. It's a tough those levels before the end level are tough to play. Angels, like, okay, just do everything God says, but then when you don't do it, you get this punishment, which is actually a necessary punishment. And then, wait a second, was it a punishment? And then you grew a heart, and then you play the game. I mean, it's like, you know, uh, no one knows that's going on properly. Like each section of it is unaware of very important information. Like, if you were one of the we, if I tell you you could sign this document in the trust so you follow these two laws and you go to God, I don't care what your script says to you. I said it. I created the document. I got proof it happens. If you're in a human body, you can do it. I don't care if you're we. I don't care. You can come over here, but you know what? They can't. Period. That's not a possibility and never will be. You learned what I just told you by experience. I got the knowledge. Now I'm going through the composite plan. I'm going back to what I used to do. And now, what? You see? You check it with reality. Oh, this is going on. 4. Also, red tide happened in the timeline for me then too. And the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of waters, and they became blood. That red tide thing. In the timing. And really, what happened was them seeing them evil creatures, became fake disciples and all that crap and stole my work, and just open all these other schools and try to shove me down to the dirt as best as they can. You know what I mean? All of them. Lee made it. All right. Yeah, that red tide. I'm telling you, there's loops within a loop. You see what I'm saying? So I'm talking about this generally, how what this is talking about in consciousness. So up until now, that I gave the framework of, hey, this is the end date, and here's the times generally for what's going on. But I'm giving a bunch of hints as I go about, well, what happened in my timeline, which is ahead of the timeline, and then leaves time for other people to make it. Yes, other people, other swimmers. There's a book called Beautiful Swimmers about crabs in the Chesapeake, about on the molting and all this stuff. But that's where you're always swimming back home, in the ocean. Oh, God. All right. And I heard the angel of the waters say, "Thou art righteous, O Lord, which art and was and shall be, because thou hast judged thus." God made a time loop. God shortened the days. I know it. I simply knew it. Do you think I knew what people would say to me when I'll talk about persecuted? Everyone hates your guts. Yep. Did you know there's 64 years? Oh God! Now we are so you. You're telling him everything. We're losing all of our power. Yes, true. The truth sets you free. You have to know it though, so someone has to tell it to you. And why is it happening? Because God made it so. That's why I say I didn't make the game. Hey, no, don't, please. I'm just here to tell you how to win it. Okay, and prove and show you. 6. For they have shed the blood of saints and prophets, and thou hast given them blood to drink, for they are worthy. I love this. Uh, so the ones who were the characters of the game and had to do their evil stuff to me, karma is a law you follow, and they have the pain is real under the dome. Even if you're a Disney character, some of it You have to learn to grow a heart down here on their side, so they have to feel some pain and stuff. That's how you grow a heart. You feel stuff here, like based on your actions. So, of course, when I hit the seventh plane, hey, you start to die. I get eternal life. Who you think I'm sucking my eternal life from? You, we. That's just the way it happens. What? Yo, the rest of the swimmers here, don't they don't all make it to the egg? You see what I'm saying? Ah. In other words, karma is real, and if you're hot or cold, that's the team. If you stay cold hearted and you didn't sign up, I told you to get signed and you did it. You're cold hearted, so you're just part of the game, and you're just like what backdrop. No one, you didn't care enough about you to sign up and come to God. So that means you don't want God to care enough about you to watch out for you and get you all the way home. It's by your actions. That's your karma. By their actions, everyone's. That's fair. Okay. 7. And I heard another out of the altar say, even so, Lord God Almighty, true and righteous are their judgments. Uh, the paradise fires, right? Wait, no, that's 7. Sorry. God is fair. No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. God is fair. You don't get it. It seems unfair until you get the end, and there's the devil standing there. You're like, dude, you play a hell of a game. This is serious. This serious game. Shake a hand. Forgive it. Okay, at a gate. And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. Paradise fires, right? Men with fire. Who are men with fire? What is made of fire? What is made of fire? Smokeless fire. Jinn, the demons, the demon men. They're the ones who have fire in them. You see what I'm saying? The ones with fire. What was with the jinn? So it's like, hey, right? All of a sudden, oh, you can't chain me and throw me in jail. What? Gotta stop you. Hey, that's great about seven playing. Yes, you're totally trusted. You can't stop him. He's doing whatever he's doing. He's doing what God told him to do. There's nothing you can do about it. Sorry. 9. And men were scorched with great heat and blasphemed the name of God, which has power over these plagues, and they repented not to give him glory. I tell everyone the truth, and what do they say? Right? They're like, you know who's number one? I'm like, that's what I thought you were going to say. But it's I'm required to say it, and they're required to say, man, I don't, no, no, no. Like the Indian, no, 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 no. Do you want to hear? No. No, 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 no. No, no. How fast can you say no? Okay, then they get judged on that. What? What are you? What, no, wait. Your whole country's faking spirituality? What? It's a good thing. We need some money over here. It's like what? That's not cool. So there are tiny pockets of it over there. Okay, you don't act like it. That's not your marketing. Okay. Uh, Yes. Oh, and the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast, and his kingdom was full of darkness, and they gnawed their tongues for pain. The eclipse, right? They all they all lie and always catch them. And if they can't say Jesus Christ, then right, then they're here to lose. So 144,000. I think we already heard about that. Yes, that's up, right? They're like, we used to be able to what? They know their tongues were paid, meaning what? They used to speak their BS and I used to go for it. or anyone else. Now, I ain't going for that. What? You can say anything you want. Just, in fact, don't talk to me. 11. And blasphemed the God of heaven because of their pains and their sores, and repented not of their deeds, right? Oh, we're pissed. We were, quit telling everybody we cheated to get our stuff. That makes us seem less cool. It's like, yeah, but that's true. You didn't cheat. You just got to give it everything for free in the beginning and still get it for free. And you still can barely keep yourselves afloat. So that's why God has to do so much for you. You're so evil and you want so much crap. How many jet skis do you need? Okay, 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon a great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. I dry up all the water of the Euphrates. I've done it already, haven't I? What? Wait a Who knows where the Euphrates is for any other reason, right? Besides Jesus Christ, right? Part of the story of Jesus Christ. Yes, in the Euphrates, there's this guy, and he was there, and Euphrates. How would anyone ever know about the Euphrates otherwise, right? And I sucked all the water out of that whole story and say, yeah, Jesus Christ is real. I met with him, but he never lived in a body. I suck out them, them pyramids and what? That's just some tall backdrop that's telling you about what God could do. Just be like, man, and the pyramids, boop, they appear. That's You don't have a fear of God. You're an idiot. Who's the kings of the East present day? See, that's what I'm getting into, not getting into the exact timeline, and I already got over to the overview. I'm not doing that part as I decode this as I go through. And I told you that one the last time because, you know, okay, it's a stupid script. I get it. But listen, don't call it stupid if it's God's script. You see what I'm saying? Isn't Isn't that you're like, "Oh, man, the script repeats itself." Man, ain't that stupid. It took me a long time to decode it, and nobody ever done it before me, and, this is the first time I decoded this part, ain't nobody ever done it, so it ain't that easy, right? So don't disrespect the story God and the game and them playing it and their ability to earn their feathers and wings. I'm not gonna do it. You see what I'm saying? So that's why. I'm going to give you a lot out of this. And at some point, yeah, I'll decode it and tell you who's who, what's what, blah, blah. I've done most of it, but I have to leave some opportunities from someone else to pray to God and want to know something. Otherwise, if that's not your only desire to hear from Gabriel, hey, God, what's up? Tell me direct. Unless that becomes your only all consuming desire, then it doesn't happen. So, okay. And so you got to practice it and do it. I told you how to do that. Okay. 13. And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon and out of the mouth of the beast and out of the mouth of the false prophet. Okay, well, let's just do a little bit of this because it's important to know. We'll jump ahead for a second and say, you know, remember, this is, hey, you get to 7 play, you know what's up in the whole game, right? That's what I'm saying. I know. I found the got we trust. Did I not? Yes, I did. Here's a way to make another trust. This is telling that story. This book is telling that story of the game and how we get out of here. That's what this for. It's explaining that. Okay, so anyone know where my paperwork says I'm on board? Anyone know? Where is this? Oh, I didn't even. That's 19. If we get into Revelation 18 and like 18, 18, 18, 19, jumping ahead a minute, we find out that this great city is the beast. You see what I'm saying? They say, oh, hey, this great city is a beast. Okay. So the dragon is a devil, and great city is a beast. Have I not decoded this already? The devil is a trustee of the God we trust, right? DC. Anyone know what the paperwork says I was born? Anyone? Where would if the light came in if the light came into the dome, where instantly would the darkness be? Instantly, as a requirement of the game, where instantly would be the darkness, right? Right. My paperwork says on a birth certificate, George Washington Hospital, Washington, D.C. Not born in a country, born in a city state. That's what my paperwork says. So the beast and I tango from the jump, and that's it. And I win, and the beast loses. That end, right? I'm doing it in this method, but we individually have other people individually have other scripts, and they're going through it to get to God, and their script gets them to God. You see what I'm saying? But my script's got to match. First one through. Oh, hey, that has significance here. And then, oh, this is what's really going on in the individual because I go first. Hey, this matches my individual experience. That's like, oh, this matches 64-year thing too. And oh, everyone's gonna have a matching thing too. Of you gotta get 7 played. Like the whole thing's fair. And it repeats. That's what this is saying. Okay. So the beast. What did I call the beast is DC and God we trust, and who gives it the power? The devil. That's what we're saying here. Yes? Okay. Columbia Hospital for Women. Interesting. That's where my first wife's mother worked, is the Columbia Hospital for Women. I've been there. Uh, she was on that. I've been there a few times. She was uh, in the preemie baby, area, like the you know. Anyway, she watched over the wizard needed extra watching over, but I've been in there. Incubator, thank you. But all that level of care, that section of that Columbia Hospital for Women, yeah, 10 years ago, condos, huh? Interesting. Okay, even longer before they converted her to not living, so yeah, the place wasn't there for her to work anyway. Prenatal care, thank you, Dee Dee. That's actually what she used to say. Prenatal care, thank you. Okay, so we're all playing our role here. That's my point of this. Okay, there's a game, there's a main actor role, but then there's everyone has to play the same role. Somebody's got to decode it and see. Oh, we all have to do this. That's all. Okay, with Romeo. Oh, this place. It's a small world after all. It's a small, small world. That's what you learn. It's like, are there even 7,000 humans, or they're like 30 or something? You know what I mean? It's so few. It's so few. It's like, that's what this is saying. Exactly. Edie, yes. Oh, man, where did I go? Okay. Okay. Here we go. 13. And I saw 13. 16, 13. And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs. Oh, okay, right. Oh, we did that. Yes, a false, but the we, however you get in power, right, is the we. All the puppets and all that and everything I just said. 14. For they are the spirits of devils working miracles which go forth into the kings of the earth and of the whole world to gather them to the battle of the great day of God Almighty. I know, they got the jinn in them, and the jinn are very powerful and can make everything pop out of the ether, and they can do everything according to the script only, and no other thing can they do. Uh, and then at the end, it's like, it's the end for them, right? But they were following God's orders to do all that stuff. 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. Remember when we started Revelations, right? Angel is saying to John, hey, you got to let everybody know I have a message from God. Hey, I'm going to tell you, and then you're going to tell everybody. It's like, okay, could God just tell everyone? It's like, no. It's like, oh, sure. How great for me. Okay. That's fantastic. In other words, you don't get to pick who you are, or nothing like God decides what character you're going to be, what you're going to do, and that's it. You do what God says, right? A thief. It's like, I stole everything you have, get in line and do it. It's like, I didn't have anything anyway. It was a person. Oh my God. You see what I'm saying? This is what this is talking about here. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. This is an interesting one that God told me because after I come to the seventh plane, as I was saying, right, 7 years go by, I can't really save nobody in that time period. I really can't. You can sign the trust and so on, but after I get to the end of it, go to take people to the tomb again. Apparently, that's my. Oh, I remind for this way. Hey, now the other team knows what's what, and so on with me. Don't ever come back here ever. Did we tell you not to come back here? Get out of here! Don't ever come back here. Don't bring them either. None of you. Get out of here, right? Did that happen? Gathered them together into a place called Armageddon. And when a word ends in DON or ON, right? That's like a town or a city. So it's like, or a place. The place of Armageddon, right? The done is just like the place of Armageddon, right? You with me there? Jack told me to say the name and I sent it to the protest center. They told me to shut up. Jesus Christ, right? I did. Don't. Hey, what that's our call for. We're just being evil over here. Don't say his name. We're just being evil exactly as we're told to be. Why are you calling on him? It's like, that's why I'm doing it. Right? No, right? So I'm again, right? I'm again. If you're in India, right? They say the Hebrew tongue, the place that gather people together is right. If it were Hebrew, if somebody say Hebrew, would know what's Hebrew. But if you did, but if you said in the Indian tongue, right, the place might be called Ahmednagar. Yes, not Armageddon, but Ahmednagar. Yes, Nagar is a place, a city, like done. Pretty close. Yes or no? Answer yes. Is that where you got kicked out of the dome forever? Don't ever come back here ever again. Is that where you got kicked out? Yeah, that's it. Yes, you got kicked out. Oh, somebody's on the seventh plane. You better find that perfect master, and you better do what he says, and you better go with him. And they're like, "You went with him, so you're out of the dome. Get out of here! Don't ever come back." It's like, could you say that in the nicest way? We're trying to be nice. This is us being nice. We're trying to have a heart and be nice. You can't tell because we don't have a heart. We're doing our best. It's like, thanks. I mean, thanks. I mean, you're forgiven. There. Oh, quick, I got it in. I don't have to do it again. You're forgiven. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're forgiven. That's what I'm saying, Alan. Okay, so now we decoded that one. And a seventh angel. Oh, I don't want to lose my spot here in this stuff. 17. And the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice in the temple of heaven from the throne saying, "It is done." Right? I touch the tube, boom. That's it. That's it. You're done. Second I touch it, boom. That's where it happened to me. Yes. This is talking about the time loop and also the spiritual loop and getting Christ consciousness. If I'm predetermined to be the first one, why would they not be talking about that as an element of this? Please. That's where end happens, end of life happens, right? On the seventh plane, you die. Literally, you die. You die, you leave the body, end up, it quits breathing, it's dead. The fairies are standing over there watching you die dead, knowing also because of the script, and the script is always the same, and when that character will re-enter the body and be that character, they know it. So it's like, don't drive him to in the ambulance or nothing like that, even though there's no heartbeat or nothing like that. Whoop, he's back up. Okay, it's done. 18. And there were voices and thunders and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth, so mighty an earthquake and so great. Since men were not on the earth, I'm saying I'm the first one through the time loop to get Christ consciousness. So I said it immediately, didn't I? I'm the first one. No one said I'm the first one. Oh, actually, that's actually Sridhar did say it. Very only was barely audible. It does need to be said once from in the hierarchy and vocalized, you know. Why? Not to make it happen, just because to you to realize what happened. Because you're going, what happened? Well, it's never happened. Since the beginning of the time loop, somebody goes first, and it's like, oh my god, hey everybody, I got this trust thing, and guess what else is going on? Not just that. Yes, okay. That's an earthquake. That's a seismic shift of reality. That's opening the dome for the first time. Somebody came out. Yeah, I got shoved back in, but there's a way out. And he said, if I come back in and you sign up, you can get out, and all you got to do is this. So I would suggest doing it. Yes. You got the message. Good. That's what I'm saying. That's the message. That's what we want to hear. There is no other message. It's always the same message. All the coding, all the flags, all the logo. It's always the same message. Hey, TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. Every message is always the same message. Okay, 19. And the great city was divided into three parts, and the cities of the nations fell, and the great Babylon came in remembrance before God to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. Unless you want death at the end of every living thing, well, then you don't get it. Yeah. Until that's your only desire, you don't get it. No one gets it. It doesn't happen until that desire becomes, you know, existent for real. Gabriel loves you. Gabriel, God is love. You see, that's what we're feeling separated from. And that's why, the rejoining of what this was a game because God loved me and just was testing me, and now we're cool. You're quite the serious partner over there, aren't you? Hey, yeah, okay. Okay, get back in the relationship, and we were on the rocks there for a minute, but now we're moving in together again. Okay, God, that sounds good. uh, Turn the page to make sure I don't skip something here. See what this is saying here is the tables turn. You see what I'm saying? In other words, you karma and duality, it just exists in duality because we're in duality. All the evil deeds done to me so that I could get Christ consciousness, they have a repayment here. You know what I'm saying to them? Uh, but it's mostly taken away by God giving me this. But then I got to tell everyone else. But so I'm saying the game don't get easier for anyone else. That would be like saying my work and effort, say, thanks for doing that, everybody. In you go. Sucker. You gotta go first. Yeah, that's again against the thought that God's fair. So God is fair. Okay. Uh 20. And every island fled away and the mountains were not found. When I say geography's fake, guess what? All BS. Even the circular maps, right? That you're like, hey, we're on a circular No, you can never figure this place out. It's run by miracles. It's run by angels. And so it's like it doesn't work according to the laws of this place. It works to the infinite laws of God, which are like you're gonna figure them out. Oh, explain them to me. It's like it always every God becomes unfathomable. You see what I'm saying? It's like, okay, the sun's outside the dome, that's why it's like, yeah, but if you put a light outside a dome, the whole dome's lit up. It's like, oh God, every time you think you get to something, you're like, and you realize, what? No, you could never. How? God is unfathomable, period. That's really, even if you win the game, that's the end message. I mean, how this is the most difficult game beyond, beyond, beyond. And this is just like a little game that God made up. You're like, yeah, okay, just with it, there's no game two, right? Like, well, with me, you're cool. Yes, yes, all right, doing what you say. We're good. Where's that bliss? So, okay. And 21, and there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent, and men blasphemed God because of the plague of the hail, for the plague thereof was exceedingly great. How do people get their talent? They get it from hail. Everyone sells their soul to the devil to get their talent from hail. Well, hail is coming from, right? Oh, hey, we're gonna put your halo on, right? But it's not your actual halo. And so, hey, let's get a gin up in there, and you can sing some songs and play some music. I had, play these songs by the way only, and uh, he has his own song. Yeah, we don't. You used to have your own song. Okay, you're signed up. Great. This is what you're gonna sing. Okay. Yeah. No, you're not gonna wear that. You're gonna wear this. It's like, okay, working at Disney World is super great for artists. I love it. This is totally what I was hoping as an artist. Excellent. Right? That's art, So you begin to see the art of God in the game and the backdrop and stuff, and you really just are like, you can't even take it all in. It's so beyond. You see God in everything. You see, and that's the plague. Everyone's gonna die. I am the plague, right? Well, I get to Christ consciousness, like, hey, everybody, any time comes on this day, and everyone's like, we thought he wasn't gonna say it this time. No, he said it. So, oh man, we're really 1 o'clock, 1:11. Shoot, I was gonna try and do 17 today. I was thinking I was gonna get 17. Should I continue? Would you people be interested in that? And if I just do one more, should I? I kind of want to get this thing done, you know? Okay. 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 I'm gonna keep going because I really want to get this done and move on to some other things. I really want to cause the end of time. Okay. Okay. All right. Here we go. I'm gonna go for it. All right. 17. Eh, Yeah. Okay. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, and I will show unto thee judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. So the great city is a whore. You see what I'm saying? That's what we come to in this verbiage, and we'll get into it. Yes, but the great city is the whore. Okay, so do you see the city? You know, is a whore, and what? Who could not touch me no more? Right, the whore and all its minions. They can't touch me. They can't jail me. Uh, what I prove it is. So that's right. It's fallen. Your power is gone. I'm with God now. See, that's it's saying that, but it's also saying this is what I was saying before about your vials go this way, and your information goes to God, not just you're getting the information of what you didn't know about God and everything. Your vial, right? Your hey God, here's my pain from down there. That goes to God, has a reaction. And also is saying in there also, I know BlackRock exists, and when they seen it, I know where they get their power. The nations, yes, yes. Okay, two. With whom, oh, the horse that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the king of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of an unusual situation. We're talking supernatural stuff here in Earth. Like I tell you, this is an explanation of. I told you factories are fake. Yes, they pop out of the ether. So this is the description of some are made, but most of the vast. But where's all this sea of junk come from? It just pops in out of the. So if you're saying, the whore of Babylon is a woman, so people, where do they come from, right? They either just pop out of thin air, like I did, or they come out of women, which is like, where do they come from? It is still, you know, right? Out of a female, whether it be a human or whatever species. There are different ways that they, even different species, new ones come here, but this is a reference to where all this stuff comes from, is that creation point, that like cornucopia point. Where is that? Obviously, you and I don't know exactly, but we can tell from all the crap here that it is happening. It's just popping out of the ether, which makes me really wonder if, when you go into servitude in hell, if you're making all the crap in here. You see what I'm saying? If time is super slowed down, 1,000 years is a day, what are you doing over there in hell? Are you making all these products for people here? And if you're making products for people here, aren't they all going to break? Because aren't you slave? Like, aren't you like, in the script? Aren't you like a Jew on the line of the Nazi war machine? Wouldn't you mess up some bolts and stuff like that? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Why the stuff breaks here? You see what I'm saying? There obviously is that other side to here. That stuff comes from somewhere. How does it get here? How does it get here? Who's making it? Like, who would make all this horrible crap? Ew, what? Ship the garage back, right? Yeah, I think it's slave to the devil in the next world. Exactly. But can you see that that's happening? We can see the evidence of it. And me, I get the seventh plate. I know. Just goes in. I know. Like, what? This is what? Okay. Like a thought comes into you. It's just all dumped into me. When he gets to the end, it just dumps into you. Oh my god, that's what I got to tell everybody before they know they're not going to go. They're not going to like part of this, or but and the other people that already know they're not going to like me that much for saying it because I remove their purpose. You see, oh hey, the game is this, so you're like, what the game is that? And so it's not hidden anymore. So people really gotta toe the line. The game is easier after me, really, because I can show you it. Hey, here's the game. What do you want to do? Go with the carnival, or you want to go with God? Okay. 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness. I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet colored beast full of the names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 7 horns. So, you know, again, excuse me, again, the 7 heads are like the G7, and 10 horns is like, you know, listen to us. You know what I mean? Like mass media. Hey, we're telling you the truth all the time, nonstop, forever. So it's the truth. We're only telling you a zillion times because it's super true. No other reason. It's like, what? That don't make no sense. The horn section. Okay, pipe it up. What? And the woman who arrayed in purple and scarlet color and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Well, I'm just saying, like, trying to say this in a nice way. I can't. These are moments I can use a little help. How to say this in a nice way? How to say this in an appropriate way with a lot of ladies present? The creation point, if you were to describe it, and a woman might look like something like 4. What I just read. Okay, that's a good way to say it. Those colors and everything. Okay. 5. And upon her forehead was name written, Mystery Babylon, a great mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. I did say indeed. Why don't you say it? What number 4 is? I'm not a woman, so I can't describe it, very easily. If you're describing the creation point that exists only on women and not on men, does that help? Yeah, the container of the G spot. Exactly. G33. Yes, the creation point. So this is describing it, right? It's doing more things than one. You see? It's describing, hey, you get people back in here, women do that. It's a very difficult point to meet a woman's body because you're trying to do this creation. You don't want creation, you want exit from creation. Very difficult. It's talking about the women's plight. It's also talking about there is a creation point. Where does all this stuff come from? And it's describing it like a woman because we're in male and female form and it's trying to explain something to us riding in these forms of what we might understand, you see, in this game. So it's trying to describe that creation point, the horror, you know. What do you do with a horror? You pay money to get up in the G spot. That's right. So we have done my best there? Okay. 6. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. Yeah. There's a lot going on with creation and a monthly cycle. You know what I'm saying? Out of the creation point, if women are on a monthly cycle, why would it? The creation point where everything comes from also be on a cycle. It's on a 64-year cycle. It makes sense. That's what everything in this reality is, uh, mirrored in every other part, you see? Bullseye, right? The feminists would go into convulsions hearing that fact. I mean, I doubt it because women mostly lead to, well, you can't make children. It's like, well, neither can you. You know what I mean? Like it takes two. So, and the rest is an automatic process. So, what? So, yeah. And this is also, remember, this is also talking about, you know, I mean, it's everything I just said, right? And then it's like a lot of people talk about the blood of Jesus stuff. You fall under that, right? Oh, I'm under the blood of Jesus. So he sacrificed his life. And so now I'm with him. So that's saying, get to the seventh plane and Jesus, you can call his name and, hey, God's going to, smack you down like you ain't never had it. Because I'm with him. What? I know what name to call. And that's the end of that. So, uh, it's also an interesting thing. It's also some things. It's also played out another way. Like I have a really hard time. I have, they talk about the truth. You eat it, it tastes sweet, but when it gets to your stomach, it's bitter. Remember, which is a revelation. Okay, but that's actually a fact. I mean, a stomach is very. It's a weak point in my structure that God gives me by far. You just have to when you have to absorb all of this world and digest it with food and everyone else's karma and everything because infinity and knowing all this stuff is supposed to happen outside the dome, not in the dome. You're not supposed to have a heart and a head in here both 100%. That's not supposed to happen. That's when you get out, right? That's not supposed to happen. So it becomes bitter. You're not, what the angels, they don't have to digest something or anything. Why do I still got to do that? I was like, yeah, no, you wouldn't be, no one would listen to you if you became, one of them again. Now, so you got to, it's a bitter pill. That's why people don't talk about the script of Mayor Baba. Sai Baba is everywhere in India, right? Everywhere, Sai Baba. Mayor Baba said, every day, all he did was eat and smoke opium all day, every day. Sai Baba eat and smoke opium all day, every day. Why? Because his stomach, dude, you can't take it in here. There's no, you have no, like the nausea from being in the dome and knowing it. Think you're in a jail cell with no window, no fresh air, no nothing ever. That's the dome. You know it. You know it. You know it. It's nauseating. I'm a horrible prisoner. The worst. All I want to do is get to the bars and get out. I do anything. Just smash my head against the wall like a goat and see if it gives out. Whatever I gotta do, I'll do it to death. I will do it. Okay. So that's the blood of saints, and so I spit blood all day, every day. If I don't like use weed, honestly, I do. I spit blood. Like it's amazing, how much blood I gotta fucking is it sucks, but it's especially when I'm helping people and also going through, oh hey God, tell me what's up. It's like sure, no problem. Let me here, it's nice and sweet on the lips. It's like, oh fuck, it's really incredibly difficult. People have no idea, digesting this world after being to God. That's what that's about too. That's just reality of it. And I'm just telling you because I'm going through this and you would experience it too. So But I'm just saying it's mirrored in the character Sai Baba, who's ubiquitous in India. And the angel said to me, "Wherefore didst thou marvel? Oh, oh, I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and the beast that carrieth her, and hath 7 heads and 10 horns." You're like, what? you know, because even now, when you think about it, it's like, what? God just pops everything out of the ether, and there's a what the what? You know what I mean? Like, that's what it's like. It's like you marvel at it. You're like, how could you not? How could you? It's not like you're marvelous because you keep us trapped in here in this game and stuff that isn't great. We can leave the game, but it's like, isn't it a marvel that what everything pops out of the ether, like the magicians do it, and they show us and tell us? It's like that's a that's not how we're told. So yeah, that's pretty miraculous. If we do that, we might be like, hey, where's that stuff coming from? Like what? Wait, so that's sort of pretty high evidence of God, isn't it? What did you say? Yeah, that's where we're hiding it from you. It's like, well, what? Yeah, they don't want you to know. The game is not hard. We're gonna hide you behind all the seas here at Disney World. That God's running everything, and so that makes the game harder. That's what they're doing. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend down to the bottomless pit and go into perdition, and they that dwell on the earth, the dwell, sees we is in the word dwell on the earth, shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world when they beheld the beast that was and is not and is not, right? Time loop. Hey, here's paradise. Oh, things are getting crappy, and end of time. Like everything is talking about a time loop here. When you get to the seventh plane, you go into the book of life as it's already predetermined that you would be the character, and they already know who's going to play John McCaig or whatever. They already know from the jump. They already know from day one. They already know. They know the whole script, and they wouldn't get it right. They're not marvelous, is the angels saying. They're reading a script. What's marvelous about that? God made the creation, point horror, Babylon, and they're not marvelous. God is more. That's the point. Is not cathedrals are great and Michelangelo's shit is great. See through it. No, God is great. That's all fake. Those are characters behind it all. Don't you see God? That's what it's saying. Yes. And here is a mind which has wisdom, the 7 heads and 7 mouths on which the woman said, "Oh, you guys are playing a game. Oh, okay. I see. Now I see the whole game now. I got you. I have wisdom now. Y'all, no one gets over me no more. Thanks for the 7 play, God. Yes. Okay. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet to come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space." This is sort of 64-year time loop stuff, but of course, it's always talking about other stuff too. But you can see that this is pretty heavily written into that. You know, if a so if pretty much every country came from a king, right? And some still have a king and some don't. Yes, in the script. Yeah. So England like has a king, but it's like it's not really a king. Yeah. Oh, but maybe somebody comes after the not king. See, there's just uh, you know, talk about nations and stuff here. All right. Script stuff. Oh, but something else here. Look. And so really what this is saying too, what this is saying is leaders of countries are simply characters in a script. They don't have power. So what they have a lot of, stuff around this. It's not theirs. You know what I mean? They have no free will. No one in any country or leading any country is doing anything but playing a predetermined role. That's what this is saying. Okay. And there are seven, yeah. And yeah, okay. And the beast that what was and is not, even he is the eighth and is of the seven and goeth into perdition. Black rocks are in everything, right? The hidden place in the center of this place that, you know, everything. But like they're not, if you had a place that all products popped out of the ether, wouldn't that be what you would have your command headquarters there and no one would know literally where it was. It would never be on any map ever there. That hidden place runs everything. Yes, yes. And it runs things until it does at the end of the time loop, and then it goes into perdition. That's what it's hey, take a pause, and you know you're running hell now. Everybody's in hell, so there you go, a new crop for you. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receiveth power as kings 1 hour with the beast. Look, if the devil says you're in charge of this country, you are. And this part of this is script related to 64. But the point being, I come out of the thing is like votes are fake, votes have never happened. Votes what? That's a show for little children. This is all predetermined, every single thing. They don't even come up with a new script ever. It's like guys and dolls forever. Only guys and dolls. You better like the songs. Go. Go again. Okay, act one. Act one. These 13. These have one mind, and it shall give their power as strength unto the beast. The high mind, the we. What? They're all with the drone, the head, the devil. What? I say that. Here it is. 14. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is the Lord of the Lords, King of Kings. Hey, the big ending is the devil loses, obviously. And he's saying the devil lost to me, right? No, no one gets access. I don't get thoughts from them to do stuff. I get information. Oh, this is what the hive is up to. You know what I mean? And, well, here comes one. Kudos to the most beautiful women in the world showing up on the beach and me meeting them. Nice try again for the last several times. Not happening. Yeah, no. But also, it's also saying you're making war with the Lamb, but it's a predetermined script saying that we work for God. That's also what that's saying. You see? Okay. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations. Yeah. This is the way the game is run everywhere. Yeah, no doubt. You know, and it's saying if you still have a desire, i.e., hey, you still want to spend some time with the whore, then you're going to have to reincarnate and be in a body to do it. So desires are what keep us reincarnating. Once you lose every desire except for to be one with God, then you receive Christ consciousness by your actions. And that's how it happened to me. Okay. And a 10 whores which thou sawest upon a beast, these shall hate the whore and shall make her desolate and naked and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So, what does it say? Uh, the beast gets its wealth and everything from its slavery system, and the whore gets everything popping out, and you're here as their slaves getting the things that they get for free. Honestly, people have come to me. I've heard this happen. question to me. I've had this question before, and I want to do this right now. People say, "Oh, hey, I'm thinking about doing a resale or selling some physical objects and stuff." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." And you're like, "Oh," I hear the whole thing and blah blah blah. I was like, "One question, yeah. Do you get all your shit for free?" And I mean, everything that you're going to sell, do you receive it? I pay zero for it. No. Okay, well they do. How are you going to get up? How are you going to beat them economically? They don't get charged on that end for anything, and they get pushed out on social media in the thousand, 100,000. That's how could you beat that? How would that be possible? You're not looking at the situation properly. If you grow up, you see, realize what you're up against, accept it, maybe do it, but accept that you're not them. Don't expect to be. That's all. We're in a different situation and just accept it. That's all. And then you can live, let them continue to live, and then you don't. Bye. For God hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, uh, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. They run a script. They have no free will, not even a semblance of it. They don't even pretend there's free will. There is a script. They do the script, and that's all they do, and that's all they'll ever do, and that's it. And a woman which thou sawest in the great city, which reigneth over kings, and the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over kings of the earth. You see, to say this is like DC, but it's also BlackRock. You see the hidden thing, the hidden hand, right? Hidden hand behind it all. This devil is God. You see, if oh, we're in a battle for a soul, right? And it's devil versus Jesus. Who's going to play the role of the devil? Come on, anyone? Come on. Who can play a thing? A character that can make everything pop out of the ether and all your dreams come true? God can only play that role. Someone with God consciousness and so on, with no memory wipe. I do this with a memory wipe, but I still beat the devil. So, you know, feel sorry for it. It's like my brother. I'm able to beat this game, and the devil Kate, the devil Kate. So you're named Kate because you Kate, and I'm able to. It's a Southern game. I'm in Florida. Okay. Oh my God, 140. All right, I did it. We'll do 18 next time. This is really not easy to do. I don't know if I've explained that properly. Uh, me doing this causes the other time, obviously. So that process, that seemingly anguishing process of birth and death at the same time, is the one that occurs within Buddha, in that location. All right, that's it, everyone. Thanks for the support. I'm going to do this regardless of what I got support or not. And honestly, let's just say things are not easy. Financially, I get that out in the whole world. But if the devil keeps playing these games and don't let up and all that, well, guess what? I know something I'm gonna do. It's a turf war, and I'll win it. I'll win it. I'll win it. You better ease up. I'm gonna win it. I'll end the game. Don't try me like this. I'm serious. All right. Uh Frank and Gina, good to have you. Lee, Dee Dee, uh, Alan, the Pamela, Pauletta, everyone else. Say here, Dee Dee, I say, and JB, and hopefully you're a big-hearted little man who's not as little as he used to be, and everyone else who's in here. Thanks for the support. This stuff isn't easy. I saw oh my God, I saw a great piece on the news that ended with, they're talking about climate change and stuff. And one of them said, there's this new term called climate change anxiety. Did I say that right? Right? Anxiety, Judgment Day anxiety, right? What is that thing where you disappear at the end of time? What? Rapture anxiety. Yeah, they're talking about it on the news in that way now. I'm telling you, once I release the information, the hive knows. Okay. All right, everyone. Thanks for the support. You know, this game isn't easy. That guy I talked to last night, he's like, man, I started talking to you. All this stuff started happening to me. He was like, have you noticed that? I was like, yeah, I know. I know they know who I am. And now I know, and they know who you are now. And I know that's happening to you too, in some regards, making weddings difficult and just everything, because they are required to remove any doubt from within your mind. Maybe Jack's not the guy, maybe the game isn't this, and they hear that, they're like, get out the bigger sledgehammer. We're gonna need it. They need to go for that. Okay, bigger sledgehammer. And off they come. You see what I'm saying? So keep your mind on God, and you cut down by your thoughts of why don't instead of just quit sending me doubt and fear and difficulties. I'm with God. I'm with Jesus Christ. That's where you keep in that harmony, and that you disallow them access. And if you stay in there, their tests become that nothing. You see what I'm saying? Because you're single-minded and you beat them every time, even before you get there, with God's name, and just staying where with God. That's it. Okay, that's what we got to do to win this game. Uh, it's simple technology. The name of God. You make a circle with your toe around your physical body in the earth, and their thoughts disappear literally. The name of God blocks their access to this form and what's riding in it. You. We need that technology so that we can, sit here and, hey, God, I need to know. And that's what the only information you want coming in is that, and the other is blocked. That's what these passages were about. The angel of God is in, and they're out. That's what we just read about. Are you with me? Okay. We got a little bit more to do here with Revelations. I'm going to get through it because I'm realizing this is going to cause the calamities I desire them so desperately to have, as my character desires so much for them that I make it happen. And I cry out to God until I hear the truth and tell you. So until next week, everyone, God bless you, watch over you. Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, all there, right? Mary, Mama, Jesus Christ, Angel Gabriel, watch over everyone. Thanks for the support. Going to keep doing this. All right. Okay. Next Sunday.